Hey guys, it's Humble, I actually just wanted to talk about some of my feedback for the game. And I played the full 2 hours of the beta. We'll look at some gameplay afterwards, but in this loading screen here, I'll talk about what I've experienced in the beta, what I think they could do better, and some things I think they did right. I'll start it right off with a bad. The worst part for me was probably running into the teaming. There was a lot of teaming, but I don't think that'll be really an issue on launch. The developers have kind of made it clear that that's something they're going to be looking to punish once the game actually releases. So while it was really frustrating to deal with here because teaming in a MOBA, fighting 2v1 is really, really tough compared to shooters where you can just kind of get a lucky headshot and even out the situation. That's not really going to happen in Battlerite. There is a big enough health pool that it's going to be a really tough situation for you to get out of. I ran into that a couple of times. But another frustrating thing to me in the game was just the items that you already have or the abilities that you already have. Like you see right now, I have a common space ability. I'm sorry, I'm a new player. I won't use these. I don't know the names, so I'm going to go ahead and just refer to them by their hotkeys. So I get another. Let's say I get another common space ability. There's nothing I can do with that, and I think that's kind of wasted potential because we do have the gold system, we do have the shop system in Battle Royale. So I think it would be awesome if we could just salvage those abilities that we already have, get some amount of gold back, and be able to spend them at the shop. Because I actually had one game today that was really frustrating to me because I opened about 20 chests, and I only actually got 2 additional skills on Jade. So I was out without my stealth ability and without my disabling shot. Hey, look at that. I remember the names. And that was just a really frustrating game for me because I kept getting the same item over and over again. I'm like, all right, cool, another epic space. I'm like, I'm glad I have this epic space, but I don't need 4 of them. Let me do something with these items that I'm finding. That way I can actually compete in the game because I just felt like I had a lot of just time wandering around looking to get my abilities filled up because I really couldn't deal with anybody because I was out my core abilities. And I think that is definitely an area they can look to improve. Get some items or get the ability to salvage items. That way we can actually just buy our abilities at the shop if we're having some bad RNG. Outside of that, though, I've really enjoyed my experience of the game so far. We're going to go and look at some gameplay real quick. One thing I do want to mention when the game starts, I am fairly new to this game. There are a lot of characters that I'm not going to recognize, so you'll probably see me do some silly stuff. I think I performed pretty well. I've got some MOBA experience, and I have played a little bit of Battlerite before, so I have some basic knowledge of the characters. But there are going to be some abilities I'm just not familiar with, and you'll probably see me messing around with stuff, trying to figure out characters, checking out the items and stuff, and we can talk about that as it goes on. All right, so here goes. Match is about to begin. I think you fly in on this cool-looking serpent, dragon, bird. I don't even know what this is. All right. So here I'm just trying to get as far away from the competition as possible because I feel like I'm really not the best duelist in the early game with only the space and the left click. So I'm just going around. I want to get my abilities as quick as possible. That way I can actually start dueling people. One thing I think is really neat is these items all seem really well done. I was actually like constantly debating with myself, which item do I want to keep? Because they're all actually really viable in different situations. And I think that's cool. There wasn't any items that I felt like, well, this is terrible. There is actually one item that I found to be an inconvenience, generally because I was getting it at the end of the game, but there's an item that increases the damage you deal to chests. So that one is a little bit frustrating to pick up at the end of the game, but it has its niche. So I think that's a fine item, and when you get it at the start, it can actually be really helpful for gearing out your character fast. Here I'm just really just trying to fill up my abilities. I noticed someone else was going for the legendary orb at the start of the game, so I avoided that. You guys will probably notice that there is different orb colors. Those of you who have already watched another Battlerite video, I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and explain the stuff as I go anyway, though. So right now I'm going for a lot of commons. I don't really care about the rarity of my skills right now. I just want to make sure I have a full skill set. That way I can actually duel people and have a chance to win. Luckily, this guy here, Varish, I believe his name is, kind of showed himself to me. He didn't really want to duel me off the bat. So I'm just looking to get the kill on him. One thing that's rather unfortunate about the kills at the start of the game is they don't obviously drop a whole lot of loot. You don't get a whole lot of gold. So it's not really that rewarding to kill an opponent at the start of the game unless you are securing like a rare orb to get some items. So this is actually one of my first games. So this is me not knowing that. I'm just looking to kill him at this point because I want to see what I can get for killing him in the early game. So we do actually take him out here. We got lucky this game. We actually did get a legendary snipe, but that's because when you loot a legendary skill, no matter what hero you are, like let's say we loot a legendary R slot skill. it'll drop on the ground as a legendary R slot skill for any hero, not just your specific hero. So I thought that was kind of cool. So I killed Varish, and since he got the right-click legendary ability, I was able to pick up the right-click legendary ability for myself, which was awesome. And over here, we actually find another legendary right off the bat. So this is a pretty good start for me. It was actually a really quick game, too. We had a lot of deaths early on in the game. Normally, I didn't see the player count drop down this much. This early in the game, so this was an interesting game, but it was definitely a lot of fun. So at this point I already have all my abilities. Excuse me. So at this point I kind of decide there's not a whole lot of value in me going out and searching for fights because there's 10 players left and I already have so many legendary abilities. The only thing I really want to do at this moment is buy time, try and fill out my item slots, and then wait for duels in the future. What I am going to look for, though, is if there's lower level players or players that I'm confident I can beat in general, I'm going to look for fights on them. Here I didn't actually know very much about my character's ultimate, the enemy I'm fighting against, so I kind of put myself in some odd situations here. But really here, I'm just trying to figure out how exactly the enemy character works. I believe it's Blossom. All I really knew about her at this point is that she's a healer. So the damage she put out was a bit surprising to me. So I kind of popped off. I tried to get my healing potion off. I think her letting me use this healing potion was a big mistake. And one thing I think is actually really cool, during this, you can actually hear, even if you can't see the players, you can hear them moving around. You can hear them drinking their pot. So since I heard her drinking the pot, I was quick right after that. I knew, okay, I have to go out there. I have to look for her. I have to cancel that. So I did, and that actually was what let me come back and win this fight. Me getting that heal off and her not was really crucial. I think I probably would have lost that since I didn't really understand the hero very well, and I'd missed a lot of my abilities. I kind of blew off my ult, so that was definitely a mistake on my part. So at this point, I'm running around the rim because I once again just want to stall time. And one of the things that I thought was really neat is that there's just like TNT and stuff just chilling around the arena for you to kind of make plans off. I never actually really got to use that effectively. The only times I saw TNT used was basically accidentally from someone, it seems. I saw a lot of people blow themselves up near the end of a match by TNTs. So here's something cool I want to talk about. I use this very poorly in this game. This is just me experimenting with things. But this fake chest, you can activate it, or when another player activates it, you can actually interact with it yourself. I'm not sure why you would, but it actually just explodes into a bunch of bombs. I ran into it a couple games later, and I was really impressed with the amount of damage it did. It chunked about half of my health because I didn't have my mobility skills up at the time because I was messing around. So you can really get punished for falling for those fake orbs, and I think it's really cool that they have so many unique items. Right here, we actually just saw this guy use a barrel and try and roll himself into me to stun me. Luckily, I jumped out in time. It's another Blossom, so I'm like sort of confident now. I sort of know her abilities, and the fact that she's running away lets me know that she's not really gonna fight back as well as she would want to. So this is good for me. I look to fight her. Her all kind of caught me off guard, but Jade's really cool. I like this hyper mobile MOBA game. It's really fun to have this experience in a MOBA, and it's really funny to see her trying to run away on her mount. But I do actually just let her go at this point because there's only 6 players left. I'm not exactly sure where any of them are. Now I'm low health. I just want to go off and heal. And I still want to fill off my ability slots before the end of the game. Because these abilities are really, these items, rather, are really, really powerful. I actually can't hover over them right now. I didn't actually hover over them too much in game, so I apologize for that. But there are some really unique abilities. Right here, I'm hovering over the Amulet of Energy. So when you get a player kill, you get 100% energy. And that's just super useful. Oh, here we go. Now I'm hovering over. But really what I was going for on Jade was just stuff that would increase my mobility so I could chase people better, so I could kite people better, and do more damage. And I thought it was really cool that I could optimize my character in that way. So it wasn't like I was just picking up the item to pick up the item because, all right, this item's a legendary, so it's always better than the epic. No, it was like a lot of time, like I actually avoided picking up the Amulet of Energy here because I felt like my current setup was more useful to me. I didn't get a whole lot of use out of my energy. We saw earlier in this video, I didn't really entirely know what my ult did, and I was kind of underwhelmed by it. That's another thing I want to talk about. You cannot upgrade your ultimate in this game. You can only get your Q through R, and your space and your left and right click. So you can upgrade your auto attacks, and you can't upgrade your ultimate. I found that very strange. But basically, that just kind of led me to realize that the ultimate isn't as powerful as just utilizing the other abilities correctly. So I just wanted to optimize my ability to use the basics. So right here, I'm going to duel Alicia. a bit. I really, once again, I don't understand this character too well, so I'm playing it kind of passive. I'm just trying to figure this stuff out. One thing I gotta say about this game in general, as someone who's relatively new to the game, I think it's really cool. Like, there is a lot of character variety in terms of what they can do, and it doesn't seem like it's that imbalanced. Like, I always felt like I had a good chance of fighting another hero. There was definitely heroes I could tell kind of countered me a little bit, but I really felt like every one of these games I had a chance to win, and honestly I was surprised by the viability of healers in this game, because I knew that there was healers. I played Battlerite a couple times, so I know that healers exist in this game, so seeing people pick healers in Battle Royale is really interesting to me, because off the top of my head I didn't think like that was going to be a very viable dueling situation, especially since this is a solo game. I can kind of see those having their place in duo, but the healers in Battlerite are actually able to hold their own in a fight, and I thought that was really cool to me. And it didn't seem like their healing was too overwhelming. Played a lot of other games, classes like Disc Priest and WoW. I'm going to go off on that tangent real quick. Have the ability to heal and do a bit of damage, so it can be pretty awkward to duel them 1v1, and a lot of times they'll be very strong. But I didn't feel like the healers were too strong. I didn't feel like they were too weak. Whether I won or lost to them, it felt like it was an outcome of skill. Like, I felt like I either got outplayed or I was able to outplay them. So it's really cool that there's just a lot of dependence on skill, and it's not so much going to be like, all right, this hero is super top tier for this. And who knows, maybe it will be on launch. I'm still kind of a mediocre player to this game. I don't know all the heroes very well. But as a new player, I felt like everything was very balanced. I didn't ever feel frustrated in hero matchup or with my hero being too weak. I did play a lot of Jade this time just because it's a hero I've played before and I was comfortable with it. And like I said, I'm still relatively new. All right, so we actually do get the kill on Alicia here. I was pretty glad to find her just chilling out here at low health. And here's where I start to mess up. I really think I could have played this better. I did not really respect the amount of damage that a healer could do. It's funny, I actually noticed that in a large majority of these games, the healers seem to be like the most prominent class. I didn't see a whole lot of other Jades. I saw a ton of Blossoms. I feel like that was a good 50% of what I ran into. And Ulrich is the other one that seemed to be quite popular. So it's neat that healers have a place in this meta for solo queue. One thing I also didn't do too well here is use my potions, my actual consumables. The consumables are very strong, and I experimented with them a lot more in the later games, and I had a lot more success as a result. This game I actually do come in second place, so I don't want to discredit that too much. I didn't do too bad this game, but I feel like I could have done better, and honestly, a little bit of the MOBA player inside of me was pretty upset that I just lost to a healer. But I definitely think I got outplayed there, and I saw the opportunity. In closing, I definitely think that Battlerite Battle Royale is exactly what I wanted out of this game. It is a perfect mesh of the MOBA genre and the Battle Royale genre, and just all of the unique concepts it brings to the table, like picking up these abilities, which you can then get in different rarities, which gives you additional effects, all the different items that you could get, and how each one really felt useful in different situations. Things like, okay, if I want to get my gear fast, I'm going to pick up that chest item right away, but I'm going to swap it later to get the damage item or the movement speed item so I can kite better in the late game. And I just found those kind of dilemmas I was having mid-game to be really unique and really like enhance my experience, and I really was able to optimize my character for the situations I wanted to be in. If I wanted to do more damage, if I wanted to kite more, I could work towards that. I could actually achieve different builds that would allow me to do that, and I think that's awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut it off here. I hope you guys liked the video. I know I'm not very good at audio editing. There's going to be a lot of holes in the video as a result, and I really apologize for that. But I hope to see you guys later. Appreciate you guys watching.